Hello. Hello.
All right. Good morning, Miss Arlene. Thanks again for taking the time to have this confidence conversation with me. I'm looking forward to it. And for the audience, I will share how I know you, our relationship, which is that I had the pleasure of getting to know you by working with you after just for so many years. First, knowing you from a distance and what you did in the organization, and then getting to know you personally and becoming a friend at work, at which time I came to find out just how much you believed in the work you were doing, which was great. You were living it. Also, very practical, very grounded, and I always appreciated your positivity and sense of humor under all circumstances. But I'll pause so that you can introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, first of all, Idara, I hope you and your family had an amazing Thanksgiving week.
Yes, we did. Thank you very much. And I hope you had a great one as well.
Absolutely, yes. So a little bit about me. Well, Idara, I've been around a while and I've worked in a few different capacities for very large organizations. So one thing that I've always been attracted to is big organizations. And the reason I like a big organization is I like to make big feel small because big can be very intimidating.
Mhm.
And when you can take big and help the people around you connect with it, suddenly big isn't big anymore. You don't have to be afraid of big if you know how to make it feel small. So I've worked for a large utility company. I've worked for a very large healthcare provider. I've worked in the high-tech industry for organizations that provide materials for healthcare organizations throughout the South. And the one thing that everything I've done has always had in common, not usually, Idara, always, is that every single one of the roles I've had required my ability to connect with people and required my ability to walk in as an unknown and figure out how to integrate myself with a new team, a new organization, and provide value. And it's been interesting, Idara, because people said when I moved into healthcare from the utility business, what does that have to do with anything? And I said, it has everything to do with it. Service is service. And I provide service no matter what organization I'm in. So that's a little bit about me.
And people are people, and you do connect with people. One thing that I remember, and I can't believe I'm only just thinking about it, was how impressive it was every single time, because now you've retired, right? But every single time someone who didn't know that I knew you met me and mentioned their experience with you, they were impressed with how much you remembered and that you remembered every person's name. So you do connect with people, make it personal, and make people feel special. It's a gift. I'm sure you work at it, but it's a gift, and it just seems to be so easy for you. Now,
You know,
how
excuse me, I wanted to point out the reason that's important to me is because your name brings dignity. And people don't care how much I know until they know how much I care. And the way I can show people I care is to make it personal.
and I've seen you do it time and again. But it's helpful to have that insight. That explains so much when you mention about the dignity of a person's name. A lot of what I've been talking about recently is confidence. How would you define confidence?
Wow. Here's something about me you don't know. I wasn't always confident. Confidence is something that grows. And I didn't understand that until I found myself becoming more and more confident as I experienced more and more situations that I'd never been in before. So my definition of confidence is the ability to approach something you've never done before and not let the fear of the unknown hold you back. That's my definition of confidence, knowing yourself well enough to know that no matter what situation you're in, you can either find the resources among your peers or seek others that you don't know but are you're willing to reach out to. Confidence doesn't mean I have the answers. Confidence means I know where to get the answers.
Your point about fear reminds me of our conversation previously about how sometimes it's that people don't feel that it's safe to fail, because sometimes in embarking on something you haven't done before, you may not get it quite right, but then you learn and you grow from it and you do build confidence. But as a result of being afraid of what may happen, people end up truly being deprived of the experience. And maybe it is the environment, but without doing it, you don't come to learn what it is that there is to learn or build on the experience. I think you had a statement also, which I commented was in your signature, where you said, if you believe you can.
You can, and if you think you can't, you're right. And there's nothing more true than those words. If we start something thinking we can't do it, we won't get it done. But if we start something thinking we can, we will find a way. And it may not be us that completes it, but we will use other resources that will ultimately result in an amazing final product. That's confidence.
And you don't have to go it alone, knowing that you will be able to tap into other resources. So share a time when being confident made a difference in your career.
There are so many times being confident has made a difference in my career. I'll tell you one that you don't know about. I was for a utility company, and I wanted to help the community and wanted to do a sweater drive. And the leaders in my organization said, you can't do this, it won't work. And I said, I'll make it work. And I went to a local TV station. I went to a local grocery store chain. And I went to another company who had done something similarly and used their template to make it work. We collected 500,000 sweaters here.
Oh, wow.
For individuals in our community who have a need. Wow. And I was told all along I couldn't. But I remembered what I taught my own children. If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right. Those sweaters made a difference.
That is amazing. I'm sure it does make a difference. You know, we talk about that's tangible. But the other lesson is that you will meet resistance. You will encounter resistance in itself. That's part of it. And one quote that I like is one that says, if those who don't think it can be done should move out of the way, I'm paraphrasing, should move out of the way so that those who are doing it can do it. And sometimes you'll hear the people who don't think it can be done, which is fine. It doesn't have to be a block or a barrier, but a hurdle. You scale or you go around it. So when you need confidence boost, because sometimes you do have things that will challenge your confidence, how do you get your boost or reminders of your abilities?
You know, I've been around a while, and now I have 2 adult children that I put a lot of love into to raise and to help them be the most confident that they could be. And when I need a real confidence boost, I turn to my daughter, because my daughter is someone that believes in me. And my daughter always is very honest with me. She'll tell me what is and isn't going to work. She'll tell me what does and doesn't sound right. But she also knows that a little bit of a confidence boost for me, and there's nothing that I can't do. So I turn to someone I trust, and I trust her for her honesty and for her love and for her compassion. And then I feel like I got what I needed, and I can go out and move mountains. And you know what? I do.
You do. And what an amazing, what an honor it is for someone to be a confidence boost for you, Arlene Pergamit, because I have seen you do amazing things. And I can hardly wait until Rachel gets to hear this in this context. And when she does hear it, please let me know, because that is such a powerful thing to hear, to be a confidence boost to her own mother, who, like you said, invested so much love in her children and in supporting them. Now, what advice or what recommendations do you have for women, or have you used in situations that challenged your confidence?
When my confidence is challenged professionally,
Yes.
let's talk about that first. I seek out the advice and counsel of other women in the organization who I respect. Respect is very important to me. And the people I respect the most are the people who will tell me when I'm wrong, or the people who will say, you're going down the wrong path. This might be a better way to go. So I seek out those individuals that I know have the courage to disagree with me, because in disagreeing with me, they help make me better. And I find that to be an invaluable approach to anything that I'm working on, whereby I'm not really sure what to do.
Advice of people that you respect. And professionally, that is the environment and target audience, in a manner of speaking, people who are in business, but it's the set of tools might feel more limited. And that's a great distinction that you've made. It's people that you respect, people who have gone ahead, people who you have seen navigate and be successful.
That's
And,
exactly.
and in my experience, those people are more than happy to help as well, to share from their own experience. And that helps you to sidestep some potential pitfalls. That's excellent advice. Now, one of the conversations we had prior, you shared a story from Jumbo that I was not aware of, having not watched the movie. And I would love to have you share it here, especially in the context of this confidence conversation.
Well, I like to grow people. I believe that one of my talents is helping people be the best they can be. And the way to get someone to be the best they can be, whether it is a family member or a coworker or someone who's in an organization that you are supporting, is to believe in them. Because you see, so many of us have so much potential that is untapped. But until someone believes in you, you might not be able to take that next step because of the fear of failure, or because of uncomfortable or walking in a place where no one's walked before. So the story of Dumbo is a lovely one. It's about a little elephant who could fly, only he didn't understand that he could fly. And one day he woke up and he found himself sitting high up in the sky on a utility line, and he didn't know how he got there. And his friends, he had birds that were his friends, and they gave him one of their feathers and said, if you hold this feather, you can fly. And he held the feather and he soared. And he soared because someone believed in him. Those birds already knew he didn't need that feather, but they knew he needed a confidence boost to go out and do what was already inside of him. And I was speaking at a meeting that you were at, Idara, and what we were talking about was, how do we help our teams be the best they can be? And I challenged the people in the room to watch the impact they would have on their teams when they demonstrated a personal belief in the person's contribution. Dumbo has always been one of my heroes.
It's such a simple concept, but very powerful. And like you said, it's there. It was there all along, but someone believing in him, letting him know, kind of giving him a tangible connection to his skill. It was already there, but that was what helped to bring it out. One of the elements that I talk about in confidence conversation is having a village, in a manner of speaking. Those people who know what it is that you can do and believe in you and will remind you or encourage you. And it's a theme I'm hearing over and over again in our conversation. You know, you don't go it alone, that you have people around you for those boosts and those reminders. It's in you, but those are the things that propel you forward, that help you fly, in the manner of speaking. All right, the final question I have for our conversation is, what's your next bold move?
Well, my next bold move just might surprise you, Idara, because I have been contemplating what to do next, because I have a lot of kick left in me. And I have decided I'm going to go back and get my master's in social work because I want to work with seniors. Seniors are a rich resource for all of us. They know so much about life and about what has happened in the past and how to move forward and face adversity and not let it hold them back. I want to work with seniors who don't feel they have a voice and help them learn how powerful their voice really is, and help them recognize the contributions that they can still make. We don't stop contributing just because the numbers start to hit 65, 70, or 75. We are still viable, vital, and able to help the next generation be the best they can be. So I'm going to get my master's.
That is awesome. That is just so amazing. And I'll be here for it. I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing that impact. How powerful. I'm happy in advance for the people that are going to get to meet you with such an empowering message, and what they in turn will do in this community by being empowered in that way. That sounds amazing, Miss Arlene. Thank you so much. That's so exciting. I'm so glad that this conversation led to that, so that I know that, and that's something else that I can track as we stay in touch. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to many, many more conversations. And don't be surprised if I have you come back and we have yet another conversation. It's always, always a pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. Thank you, Idara.
Thank you.